Welcome to this week's episode of Undisputed MMA. Just give us a bit of background on you, where your MMA journey started, all that kind of stuff, then the gym, and then him. So start with you.
I started off as a bit of a boxer, and then boxing got a little bit boring for me, and then I was looking for something different. And then I trained with Brad Watt for once. Someone told me where to go train by him, and I didn't enjoy it that much. And the very next day, one of my friends was training with when Richie Conn had just come back from the States. We're talking donkeys years ago. There were like 4 of us that trained with him. And he said, I'm going to come train with this guy. He's top notch. I was like, cool, I'll come. And that's basically when it started. And I was itched from day one. So I was probably one of the first FFM guys. There were about 4 or 6 of us that used to train, and it grew from that. We came in all tough always to doing lines. We had a great time, man. And I just loved it. I loved everything about it. And then I started traveling to Thailand every year and doing Muay Thai. Obviously, I've never fought MMA. I was supposed to fight a couple of times, injuries and everything happened. But yeah, I try to keep active. Like, I try and go fight in Thailand every now and then. Never know, maybe in my geriatric age I'll pull out the gloves and we'll decide again. As soon as I find my hunger to train again.
Peter Smith tells me the same thing, so the both of you can do it together.
Hey, I tell you.
And then the gym, how did the gym come about? Starting the gym, just a bit about it as well.
Obviously I come from Joburg, so I come from the FFM side. And then I met my now wife in Joburg, and she was living in Durban at the time. And I had a good job I was a personal trainer in Joburg, but I was earning good bucks. And I decided, screw it, I want to get out of Joburg, get away from all the bad influences in my life. I was a bit of a party animal. And decided to pack it up, moved down here, opened the gym down here. Myself and my brother-in-law, Lee, opened. Then we opened the first Domination. Then we split up. I opened this DFFG about 3.5 years ago. Broke away, did things my way, focusing predominantly on MMA, but you're not allowed to walk into the gym and learn MMA unless you have a good base of MMA, unless you understand jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, wrestling and boxing. So when you come here, you have to first spend at least a year, 6 months, depending on how athletic you are. You have to do a year of boxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, jiu-jitsu before you're allowed to take part in the MMA class. I just found, with the MMA class, guys were coming in and thought it was to do MMA, but they've never boxed, they've never grappled, they've never done anything. So you sit there spending time teaching them one skill, and then everybody that knows what they're doing just got left behind. So yeah, since I've done that, it's changed. I think the skill sets of the guys has improved a lot. They're a lot more focused. It's gotten a lot better.
And then Paul himself, give us a bit of background on him, what he's like in the gym, that kind of stuff.
That's a funny story. He called me one day years ago, and he said to me, "No, listen, I want to do this sport." So I was like, "Okay, cool. Come through. We'll do a one-on-one." It was supposed to be an hour. It ended up being like about 2.5 hours, 3 hour one-on-one. I just started going through stuff with them. I'm very much. I love this sport so much. So once I get going and I'm getting the groove, I just don't want to stop. I just love teaching. And so we did a session, and after that, Panda was like, "Okay, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to train." And he had zero skill. Like, he said he trained here and he trained there, and I was like, "Hey, go get your money back. I don't know who taught you what, but forget about everything you've learned and let's just focus." So we started again. Listen, the thing with him is, and I tell him, and he knows this, he's not the most natural athlete. He's not the best fighter in my gym by miles, but he is definitely the hardest worker. He is the guy he'll put in the 5 hours a day, 4 hours a day. He'll put in extra conditioning sections. He'll do extra one-on-ones with me. He spends time focusing on his weaknesses. He just wants to be, and it's like I tell all my guys, don't worry about everybody else. Just be the best that you can be. Just do everything in your power to become the best that you can be at whatever your passion is. And the stories, I mean, when he started me when he was 110 kgs, he's now walks around at about 82, 83. So that alone was an achievement. Skill set wise, he's come a long way. he's constantly evolving. You know, he's only been in the sport now, realistically, for 3.5 years, which isn't much, considering he had 0 base when he started. But yeah, he's tough as nails. We've got a good foundation. Our skill set's good. You know, we bring a different game to the party. We work hard on a lot of varieties. We're not a one-track pony gym. We're not like a stand-up gym or a grappling gym. We do MMA, so we specialize in everything. We've got specialist wrestling coaches, specialist stand-up coaches, specialist jiu-jitsu coaches, and we all communicate together. We try to put a good package together. So yeah, all in all, I think it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to this.
And then the show, obviously the format of the show is he's going to fight once a month for 3 months. So anything you're going to need to change in the training, or you think he's going to cope with that kind of stuff?
100%. I mean, we've already discussed it. I keep having to drill into his mind. I've got to remind him that 4 fights, it's like basically it's a fight a month. You know, whereas normally we've got a minimum of like 8 weeks prep, so we can do like our hard training and then we can taper it down. We're going to have to change it up a lot, so we're doing the hard grind now. After the first fight, there won't be any more hard. It'll be a light technical recovery week, and then it'll be a high intensity drilling in 2 weeks, and then it'll be like a slow intensity drilling 1 week. You know, because he's fighting, that fighting alone will be light sparring. It'll be a lot of intensity. We've had to change the whole structure, but that's okay. I think that's what makes you a good fighter. We put into different environments, different situations.
Part of the show, obviously, is the reality show as well, the behind the scenes, him with a camera. What can people expect from him as a personality? So the actual man, not the fighter.
The bane of my existence, our little Conor McPanda. Exactly that. I mean, in one word, he thinks he's Conor McGregor, or doesn't think he's Conor McGregor. He wants to be a Conor McGregor. Like I said, he's not the most skilled fighter. He's not the most athletic person you're ever going to meet. But it's his belief in himself, and I'm not going to sit here and tear down what makes him who he is. I'm more of the very much keep yourself into the cage, you know, get in there, show them what you're made of inside the cage, you know, keep the mouthing and all that to yourself. But you know, some people need that to kind of get them going. It's their self-belief, it's their motivation, it's their drive. It's what gives them their confidence. So he knows how I feel about it. I'm not the biggest Conor McPanda fan, but you know, whatever makes him happy, whatever's going to make him do well, whatever's going to give him the confidence. I do, you know, sometimes I'm going to rein him in a bit and just say, listen, just tone it down, focus on your training. You know, when the fighting comes, let you talk. Do talking in the cage. Don't you know, I always tell this, you're always writing checks that you can't cash. And that's one of my pet hates, these guys with these big mouths and they get KO'd in the first round. You know, be humble, be yourself, train hard, and show them what you can do in there. Have a mouth. It's always nice to be witty and chirp, but don't make predictions and all that stupid crap. That's just silly. It's like cursing yourself.